What I was expecting.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 6. Today we have special guest Teo. Teo is one of our senior sales consultants. He's been doing it since cars didn't have seatbelts. Teo, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, thanks. How are you?
Good, and we have, of course, in the house, Kevin Grassa.
Morning.
Guys, this is soon to be the number one most downloaded automotive podcast. Of course, we're the number one volume GM dealer in the GTA. We want to bring on
number one volume dealer in Canada.
And I don't mind being corrected on that. I like that. That's pretty cool.
Number one retail in the GTA.
Number one retail in the GTA. What about fleet?
Number one.
Do we service all of the commercial needs?
We service everybody.
Everybody.
Coast to coast. Massive. And we have, anyways, we'll stop there. We don't want to plug ourselves, but Teo, thank you so much for being on this morning.
Thank you.
We're going to quiz you probably a little bit later on once you're a little bit more comfortable with the format. You're going to forget all the cameras are here, but for those who don't know, Teo has been, I guess, leasing and selling cars for, I joked, but probably over 20 years?
37.
37 years? Wow. So was that seatbelt comment, was that a joke or was that?
Well, I think it was a little bit pre that happened, but
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
But they weren't mandatory still. When you started selling cars, it wasn't mandatory to wear a seatbelt because, you said you started 37 years ago. I'm thinking of 37 years ago. I was really, really young, and I can remember being in the back seat of a car, my brother being a baby, a cuddled baby, just wrapped in a blanket, like laying across the back seat because there
were some cars that didn't have seatbelts around that time.
there was no baby seat.
Yeah, that's true.
No baby seats.
Yeah.
I don't
We used to
remember
go for a
whether-
ride in the morning, be dropped off at the babysitter. Yeah, my brother was just there. They said, just hold on to him.
The blanket, the swaddling was the only protection he had.
I know I started at a dealership, was part of the Found on the Road Dead organization, and with Mustangs and that, and you weren't going on a test drive without putting your belt on.
Well, yeah,
I was going with you. There was no way you weren't.
in a Mustang. But it seems to me that would be such like a weird time in history that, was there outrage? I wonder, this is probably more of a question for Jeff Tompkins.
That was a policy? Was that a Ford policy or was that a dealership
That was
policy?
my policy.
Your policy?
My policy, yeah. Because I didn't like the fact that a lot of people came for a joyride. And
Wait, so hold on. What year are we talking?
84.
So 1984, people are coming in for, a test drive of what, a Mustang?
Mustang GT.
You sold for Ford?
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody comes in for Mustang GT. Everybody had a driver's license in the 80s, right?
Well, I don't know. We would check to make sure they had one, whoever was
But
taking this car.
was it plastic? Was it paper? What did a driver's license look like back in the 80s?
It was paper.
Paper.
Really?
Yeah.
Was there a photo on it?
And there was no G1, G2. It was a 365, it was called.
Yeah.
So 365 was your permit for 1
Really?
year.
Really?
But you can drive anywhere with that permit. There was no restrictions. That was just like, here, go learn how to drive, and then come back and get your real license. But there was no real restrictions on it. The only restriction it was only valid for 1 year, 365 days. You had to get your license after that. You couldn't extend your 365.
So,
You had to do a road test.
but you're telling me basically if I walk in with my brother's piece of paper, there's no way for them to know that I'm not me
True.
or that I'm him.
True.
Wow.
There was honesty back then.
But
it was the trust system.
we didn't have very many people that were trying to get around the system.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess, yeah, just there's, the only reason you would do that is I guess you didn't really have to do a whole lot back then.
Speaking of being honest and having people take advantage of the system, here's a topic for us to start us.
Sure.
Took down the big fraud group, crew, whatever you want to call it. They arrested 16 people 2 days ago. It's on the news, you can pull it up. It's automotive fraud. So they go into dealerships with fraudulent identifications, they finance these vehicles, and then they ship them.
Wait, so was this the this
Toronto
was the
police,
ring? They finally got them.
Finally got them. Yeah.
So for those that don't know, and this is something that we'll talk about the article, but yeah, dealerships have to be so specific. And I know comments from friends. Sometimes you get the mixed reaction. I'm a young person. They want to see my driver's license. I felt like I could go in there. I don't think a lot of people realize on our side of the business how much risk there is every time we have clients come through, because we get notes from OMVIC, which is the council that governs automotive sales in Ontario. There's these theft rings all the time, and we have to be super careful. We have to be I don't want to say judgmental, but we have to be very
Diligent.
We have to be diligent. Yeah, good point. In basically making sure that the people who are coming in say who they are, right? Paper licenses will not fly. But anyways, we'll take a quick peek. Yeah, we'll definitely have longer headphone cables for the next one. We'll take a quick peek at the article here. But Kevin, I didn't know that, so they busted them.
Yeah. So I know one or two stores here in the Auto Mall.
Yeah.
Experienced it.
Wow.
Yeah.
48 vehicles fraudulently purchased.
Yeah. So,
19 exported.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good ratio.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good shot to make a lot of dough. And the thing is, like, so the car. What are the cars that people are exporting from GM?
Be the
You
big
know, at the end of the day,
SUVs.
if a car is new, they'll export anything.
Yeah.
If it's something that's in demand.
And isn't it true that obviously when it gets exported, like if our price tag here is $50,000 over wherever it's going,
Depends where it's going.
it's probably
But
worth
there
more,
are
though.
some exuberant numbers that
Yeah.
I've heard out there in certain parts of the world. Like we're talking.
Double for a
No,
Corvette.
not double.
For a Corvette.
5-6 times.
Are you serious?
Yes, even Escalades.
Wow.
There's some serious money overseas.
But hold on a sec. Is there not? And I know obviously once it's across the border, it probably doesn't matter so much. But aren't there like 30 plus locations that a VIN can be hidden on? Like
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't matter if you know where to look for them. You just
No. So, yeah. In these cases, these vehicles were being bought fraudulently, but they weren't reported stolen or fraud yet.
I
Because,
see.
Right, and by the time they hit a container and get shipped, that's it. The car's gone.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. That's just
some of these countries around the world, like the car doesn't have to have even a wheel on it. Like, they
Wow.
don't care.
Have you ever seen the percentage of vehicles, containers that get checked in Montreal?
No.
Oh, it's
what
minimal.
percent? Yeah.
Where they're inspected. It's almost non-existent.
See, that's why I found one of the first episodes we did. We were showing the auto show commercial with Will Ferrell, the GM one.
Yeah.
I was laughing because he showed the Cadillac Lyric going into a shipping crate.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, like that. Yeah, that a lot of people don't know, but yeah, that's where those cars may be going. But yeah, I'd imagine if you have a port, like, how do you? There's obviously some kind of a compliance check, maybe 1 or 2%. I'm sure there's a just a
Depends
quota
who
that they have
runs
to
the
hit.
port.
Well, yeah, okay, Teo. Fair enough, man. Here we go. Yeah, it's not a conspiracy theory. I guess
It's not
real.
it's a known fact. The Angels run the port of Montreal.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully there's none listening to this. We'll switch to electric cars. We'll change.
Yeah. Getting a little touchy, a little saucy here. We gotta move on.
If there's anybody listening right now, we're about to jump into the Volkswagen Golf. Hey, you know what? Before that, so Teo, we want to pick your brain here. So you sent out earlier in the week, you sent out a study, so JD Power, and it basically showed the reliability. I'm going to butcher it, but it basically showed the reliability of
All cars.
all the brands.
All cars.
Are we talking 2021s?
Yep.
Okay, so
Well, they say it's a 2021 dependability study, but I think you'll find that these vehicles are 3 years old.
3 years old.
Yeah, I think if you look at very closely, I think that's the guiding light. But the key is every single year, every
Okay.
single month, every quarter, these are coming out. And the key is that our product, well, actually, a lot of really good product that we have right now in GM.
So I'm going to ask this for those, and even myself, that don't know. So basically, the difference between JD Power is they take a consensus among vehicle owners.
That's
so
correct.
basically, this is for 2021, but it's vehicle owners for the past 3 years. And
Correct.
basically, how many problems have you had reported in?
Correct.
Okay, because I was going to ask you. I remember
This-
when you sent this article, I wasn't sure. I was like, okay, well, what's the difference between JD Power? Like, is it still valid? Why should I trust this more than a YouTube review, right? But I guess the
Well,
answer
some people say that longevity makes it more dependable. They've been doing it for 30 some years, so.
And I guess too, it's because it's one of those things. You guys ever watch when you're looking at a product or like a review on YouTube, and somebody says like 6 months after or a year later? I find those reviews are always the most sobering because there's so much honeymoon phase when you're looking at new electronics, or there's
You know, 6 month ownership on a vehicle or 1 year ownership on a vehicle is nowhere near the amount of time you need, I believe, to put a study on a vehicle.
yeah.
Let's face it, like you can buy a knockoff iPhone,
Yeah.
and in the first 6 months, it's still going to work properly.
Yeah, you may not even know it's a knockoff iPhone.
You might not even know it's a knockoff iPhone at that point yet. So to put a study on a vehicle like some of the other ones do, Consumer
Yeah.
Reports, and that 6-month study,
Yeah.
like, come on, or a 1-year study, like, its dependability in the first year, come
Yeah.
on. That's
You shouldn't have to do anything in the first
yeah,
year.
and not only that, hold on a
anything, yeah.
second. And another thing that skews these studies
Yeah.
is recalls.
Yeah.
Recalls are considered ROs.
That's
it's
true.
not really a problem. It's most recalls for all manufacturers is
Vehicle safety
it's
bulletins and
vehicle safety. It's to enhance the safety even further.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
not
very-
a problem.
Yeah.
It's very
Free of charge,
proactive.
It's very proactive.
And-
Very
and
proactive.
But
yeah.
but it doesn't get
Factored in.
It
to
doesn't
the
get
rankings.
factored in or translated into that. Into these, it's an issue with the car. It's not an issue with the car.
Yeah, because that's a good point. Like from an unbiased level, I'll see that a lot of the times, on our quote quote recall list that we get from General Motors, you'll see that it's these updated safety bulletins. And what people don't understand is they're bringing their car in for recall. They're not yanking pipes and parts of the car out. They're literally like some cases they're basically just doing a software update
Oh,
to the
yeah.
infotainment, or here's an update to basically just make sure that I don't know, this fires before that. Fires is not a good word, but turns on before that. But a lot of it's software related.
It
And
is.
somebody comes through
And
like
a lot of it's getting done over the air now, and as cars get smarter,
yeah,
uh,
software updates.
yeah, like my Cadillac XT6 did one the other day. As soon as I turned it on,
Yeah.
it told me to download it. It does it overnight because some of this data is big. Download it, and then I started the car, and then it gave me a message that the system had to reboot. So the whole Q system, everything just rebooted.
Yeah.
and off I went. Everything was fine.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to think that cars will do that. And I honestly I wonder too, like, so I have a Panasonic I can't even speak Lumix
Panasonic.
G9. Yeah, I have that big time. So this camera, all of a sudden there was this firmware release, and it went from being able to do like another 60 FPS more in slow-mo, and all of a sudden it went from 8-bit to 10-bit color. And for those who don't know video, it's like that's like a zillion times more color depths, like a million times more shade. Like it's just insane. And all they did was a software update. And it's like I just got an extra $500 worth of camera because I plugged it in and I downloaded the newest firmware. And that's what kind of excites me about cars is like a lot of the tech is already there, especially when we're talking about autonomous driving, right? A lot of these safety features, they will only get better. The lane change alerts, the notifications, they'll continue to get better. There's already the software, the hardware in the car, right? So that's really cool to think about. It'd be insane to just know that all-wheel drive, 2 years from now, there's an update on, maybe a 2022, 23. Hey, we've made your all-wheel drive platform 5% more fuel
That
efficient.
happens right now.
It's
There
insane.
is fuel tweaks to some of these recalls, the software upgrades.
Yeah.
They're not even bulletins, but when you come in for an oil change, they'll just do a software upgrade because it's available for that vehicle.
Yeah.
And fuel mileage, less, more heat displaced out of the engine, so the cooling system works different. Like there's all kinds
Yeah,
of anyway,
the heated
too much
seats
for
turn
us.
on
We're
faster.
not engineers, but yes, as the cars get smarter, it's just going to happen naturally.
We
over
gotta-
the air. Your car's sleeping at night when you are, and it's getting new software.
A lot of times customers don't even know that this is being done. They come in for an oil change.
I know.
Why is it taking 15 minutes longer? Well, a lot of times it's that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I don't know. So looking at this, Cadillac obviously ranking pretty high, Buick ranking pretty high, Chevrolet. It's funny too that I look at this is what I do question though, because a lot of Chevrolet, a lot of GMC vehicles will share a very similar base to Chevrolet. There's obviously the difference being there's more standard features available at a lower entry level trim. Is that fair to say for GMC? You're getting
Yes.
there's just different
You're paying more.
bundlings.
You're paying more.
Yeah, you're paying more. But anyways, I question this because GMC and Chevrolet, they share pretty much, they're from the same supply chain, same components.
Yeah,
So it just makes me question.
it does too to me.
So this quite honestly makes me question the integrity of this study.
I find that GMC has always historically been a truck company.
Yeah.
And now you've got a lot of crossovers involved in that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has to do with people's impressions and expectations more with the GMC than with the Chevy. So
Yeah.
that would be the only one caveat or one way I could
Well,
explain
they've always
the
had a
difference.
Yukon. They've had an Acadia for a
Yeah.
long time.
But terrain and
Terrain's been around for a bit too,
Yeah.
right?
yeah. So I
Basically, it was.
that's what I was thinking, but I could be
It was
wrong.
a Pontiac
Yeah.
Torrent
Torrent. Yeah.
with a makeover. It's called the GMC.
Pontiac.
Right? That's it. Yeah, but then what's that Tesla one at the bottom? Like they don't report?
No, they
Oh,
I don't know. I guess, what is
it's
this?
in gray. Why is it in gray?
Brand is not rank eligible who does not meet a study award criteria. Well, there you go. What's the criteria, right? So 176.
Which is not good.
Yeah, not a good sign. So what was really interesting, I saw a video yesterday, and so did you guys know the number 2 volume EV sales brand is?
Chevy.
No. So Tesla rank 1. Do you know who number 2 is?
Is it Nissan?
It's Kia.
Kia, is it?
Yeah,
With
it's
the Soul?
the Soul EV and the Niro. I had no idea, and obviously it makes sense when you think about it. Cause
Volume-wise?
Volume-wise.
Really?
Yeah. So Toyota. The interesting thing is you would think that they would be the leader, but Prius,
They're
all their
not
tech has
called
been
EVs,
hybrid.
though.
Yeah,
They're
they're
not called
You
EVs.
talking
not
about
plug-in.
Canada or United States?
Listen, if you're gonna peer review me, don't do it live. I don't have my allegedly. Okay, allegedly, my legal team says. But it's just interesting to know that Kia comes number 2. I thought that was kind of interesting because you wouldn't think about that. And we actually have a few articles prepared today from Kia, but I don't know, reliability, that's cool. But we'll check this out. Kevin, you're a fan of the minibus. I know when we had Matt on, we were talking about it.
Minibus. VW minibus. Like, it's too bad. I had an opportunity to buy one about 10 years ago and it didn't.
Yeah.
It was on Auto Trader. It wasn't anybody I knew, but the price on those things in the last 10 years has skyrocketed
Yeah.
so much. Like, to get a decent one,
Yeah.
not even one that's a pin, just a decent one, you're looking at 100 grand.
No,
Yes.
that's insane.
Because they're collectors' vehicles.
Yes.
And Matt was saying
There's a
when
guy by the name of Gabriel
Yeah.
Iglesias. Have you ever looked him up? He's a
the comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen how many of them he has?
No.
He has a museum of them.
Are you serious?
He has fish tanks made out of them. Some of them.
Wow.
He is the biggest collector. He's unbelievable.
I wouldn't have
Collects.
even guessed
He's
that.
got every window because there's a 10 window, a 12 window, 15 window, 21 window version.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta pull that up. 21 window. Are you serious?
Yeah.
21 window
Look,
VW.
it's the first thing came up. You see that?
VW bus. Thank you, Google, for reading our minds.
Look at that.
Holy smokes, man. That's cool. That's like the California edition, eh?
Yeah. Look at that gray one.
Wow. That's pretty awesome.
Isn't it?
Wow.
Then the flip up windows in the front.
That is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, they have a new 2025, hence likely a new microbus. So I
Self-driving.
self-driving, yeah. It's funny though because it could look like this.
They kept the design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
and why would you not?
keep it looking the same. Like that'll get people nuts over it, right? I think I'd be super excited to be able to see a car like that. That looks kind of retro, looks vintage, but it's neat because the whole idea that VW is obviously focusing. I can't remember what company that they had, battery company they had bought into, but they own a large stake of one of these battery companies that, QuantumScape. I think it's QuantumScape, but they have apparently their tech or their basically key advantages. They have these batteries that are way more resilient to weather, so the cold and the heat, and they charge much faster than kind of the regular lithium batteries that are on the market right now. But anyways, I think Volkswagen has like $1 billion stake
Speaking
in
of
them.
batteries, Taylor, what do you know? Because I don't know exactly the technology, but I know you always kind of read this stuff. What do you know about
GM's Ultium battery uses very little cobalt and I forget, is it vanadium that comes from the Congo mostly, and that kind of thing in the world is not really something that a lot of people who are environmentalists like. GM is using more aluminum in theirs.
Aluminum.
So, aluminum, yeah. So they've found a different way for the cathodes to be coated. I can't explain it really, but
And Magna's opening up a plant in Detroit specifically
Yeah.
for General Motors. They're
They've-
going to make them.
they've
They're gonna
got
make
like
the casements for these batteries, which is cool.
So these batteries are, the optimum is try to get 500 miles out of a charge, right? So that's what they're working
That's a pretty good
towards.
range. Like especially what's that in kilometers? Like 7 something,
Yes.
720, 750.
Yeah.
No,
That's
that's 500 is up 800.
Yeah.
800.
Yeah.
That's a pretty
the key
good range.
because
Yeah.
I mean, look at the distance of places, and there are not a lot of charging stations. Like if you
Yeah.
look between San Francisco and Los Angeles, there's about 1,000 stations.
Yeah.
But how many people live there? A
Yeah.
gazillion. So
Yeah.
it's going to be long lineups unless they really bring out a lot of
well,
Are
these.
they
yeah.
supposed to charge faster too? Those ultimate.
Yeah, they're supposed to. Yeah, so I don't know. How much does it cost though to charge
And
one of
that's
these
going
at
into that.
quick
The
charge?
Hummer's gonna be the first one with it,
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
and then the Avalanche.
The Avalanche. I haven't seen any
Whoa.
pictures of the
Whoa.
Avalanche yet.
Whoa.
I just sneak something out again. It's the
Yeah.
second podcast.
I've-
I sneak something out.
I've heard that they were talking about using that name for something else, so that'd be cool.
I think it'll be, again, this is allegedly, this is my opinion.
Allegedly.
I know somebody that's working on a few components for that specific nameplate, and I believe it will be the Chevrolet version of the Hummer.
That'll be pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's cool.
And the reason for that is because there's a big Chevrolet following, and there's many standalone GMC stores still,
Mhm.
and many standalone Chevy stores. So if GMC gets the electric Hummer, what do the Chevy stores get?
Mm-hmm.
We're
Yeah.
fortunate here. We carry
We
all
got all of
brands,
it, yeah.
but
Yeah.
in the United States and a lot
Yeah,
of-
in the U.S. it's all separate. You
It's
could have
all
a
separate.
Mercedes Chevy store together.
Yeah,
It's,
so-
it's weird.
What?
In the
Well,
U.S.,
in some
you could have-
states, not all states,
yeah.
but I think Nevada is one of them.
Though they're starting to join more together, Chevy and GMC in that. But
Yeah, in Nevada, you can walk into a Dodge store and it's a Chevy and it's a Jaguar.
What?
Yeah.
Like, they don't.
Yeah, they have franchise rights, but they put them all together. Yeah, it's
That's-
like a buffet of cars.
That's great. Whatever we can finance.
Yeah.
But this VW van should have joined with Apple because it looks a lot like the Apple van.
I don't know. Yeah, well, Apple will definitely, they'll definitely make their own thing. But the idea that this thing's going to be self-driving, I just think, could there be any better marketing than one of these little electric buggies driving around town?
Be great, but what's the price point? Because that's the problem. That
Well,
they're
well,
running
here's
in
the
right
thing,
now.
if it's self-driving.
Even if it's self-driving,
Yeah.
now imagine Uber getting a hold of this. Now
Yeah.
they don't need their driver.
Mm-hmm.
All the money's for them.
Yeah, you have a robotaxi fleet, right? And so that's Tesla apparently. So by 2023, they're set. I don't know how many robotaxis they're putting on the road, but they're finally having that subscription basis of basically Uber, but it's Tesla, right? So that's going to be interesting. So yeah, I think a lot's going to be coming by 2025. There's obviously still going to be so many perks.
We're in such a crazy time for technology
The
and automotive.
The S curve by 2025 is about to slap us in the face, and I think it's going to be a good thing. There's going to be a lot of good that comes out of it, especially too for the consumers, especially for us as dealers. It's interesting, this robo-taxi thing. We'll just kind of see how it goes, but yeah, by the time these commercial contracts start getting filled in the next 3-4 years, the world's going to be a completely different place even in the next 2 years. Like I have no idea kind of where we're going to be, especially Canada housing crisis. There's so many things.
It's moving fast.
I think a lot of people
There's no housing crisis.
in Canada, it's because you already own a house.
But there's no crisis.
you-
What's the crisis?
Crisis?
Shortage.
The cost of real estate.
No, there's a shortage.
Shortage,
That's
okay.
by design.
Yeah. Anyways, this is an automotive podcast. Okay, cool. So Teo,
I find it interesting that this microbus is pretty cool, but they're third last continually in the dependability study. So
but the thing that I question is now when you have an electric car, I feel like dependability is going to go through the roof because there's so many less components though.
No, look at Tesla, man. They're right there at the bottom, bud. They're electric.
But hold on a sec. I don't think their focus was ever to make. I don't think their goal is we want to be the most reliable car. I think their goal is we want to put as many cars on the road as humanly possible.
Cell phone is electronic.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
It's all electronic.
Yeah.
How long do cell phones last?
2 years, 2.5 years
Okay.
before you.
The only good thing that I don't want to rephrase it. I don't want to say the only good thing, but one of the most reliable things in an electric car will be the electric motor.
Yeah.
But all the other components, all the other components,
Yeah.
to make it work, and all the wiring and circuit breakers, and motherboards and circuit chips, and semiconductors.
Oh yeah.
That is what I'm worried about, because the electric motor's been around forever. It's in the Empire State Building. When was the Empire State Building built? That's what takes that elevator up and down.
Yeah,
It's an
it's
electric
true.
motor.
Yeah.
Right? It needs a little bit of maintenance, and it just keeps going. That's just the way they are. All the other components.
Sorry, I gotta pull this up. Do you guys know when the first hybrid car was made?
Hybrid car?
80s?
The first electric car?
Hybrid.
No.
You're gonna be
It was
blown
like
away.
1910
No, it
or
was the
something?
1800s.
1800?
Yeah, watch this. First hybrid car. I could be. So hold on. So this is wrong. First hybrid car, 1899.
By Porsche.
So can you imagine? And I was laughing when I saw this. I'm like, okay, and it was like fun facts about the automotive industry. 1899. Can you imagine? Okay, everybody's riding around in horse and buggy, right? And you have to try and convince your wife that we need not just a car but a hybrid car. Like obviously it was something that you know this guy built. I'm sure it wasn't really for commercial use. But I would love to just imagine the skit back in time of just knowing, the guy trying to convince his wife, we need it. We're gonna save so much on gas or horsepower, whatever metric. But yeah, hybrid motors have been around for a long time. Does that mean it worked? Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not at all. If I stick a Duracell, into a 1999 Civic, does that mean it's a hybrid?
Or maybe it did. You got to remember back then, there wasn't enough science for them, society and humankind, to understand what oil and gas was going to do to the earth.
That's true.
So they said, wow, this thing's got a lot of power.
And to extract it, yeah.
It sounds good. Doesn't take long you don't have to plug it in or anything. A lot less components. Let's do it.
Yeah, fair enough.
We can just drill and get this product to put in here to make this thing work.
That's true.
Nobody knew what damage it was going to do to the environment
Yeah,
back then, right?
this is very true. Okay, so damage to the environment. We're going to talk subcompact cars. So this is a long-winded article, and I probably skimmed it incorrectly. But I want to hear your thoughts, Teo. You're on the ground floor here. So obviously, just the cliff notes of this article, there's 16 new models across all the OEMs that we've seen in the past 2 years, is what it says.
How many are discontinued?
That are in the compact space. So between the subcompact cars and those small utility vehicles. Our standpoint here as a dealer, like we've had the new Encore GX, we have the Encore, we have the Trax, we have the Trailblazer, we have the Spark. Those are not really hot selling vehicles, and technically
The Trailblazer and the GX is really, so it's really going to take off here because now there's going to be supply of it. Well, we don't know what now with this semiconductor thing, but that was the plan.
Yeah.
We did very well. General Motors did well in the GTA with them for an introductory product with limited supply because they are coming from overseas. But I do think that car will sell substantially. Will it be at the top, compete with the top sellers? Don't know, but it will sell. They're good. They're a good-looking car. People like them. It's just GM really hasn't marketed that car. Have you seen any marketing from the GX or the Trailblazer?
Yeah,
It's going to be strong next
gonna
couple
be
of
strong.
months.
You guys think so?
Yeah, especially with Costco program just come out.
Yeah.
It'll be
That
strong.
attracts a lot of people.
Teo, plug it. What do we have right now?
Costco for
What are the savings?
crossovers. Savings?
Yeah.
Well, you're just basically becoming GM suppliers. Like you work for Magna all of a sudden.
Wow,
And you get a $500 Costco shop
Shop
card
card.
afterwards as well.
that's fantastic news. Yeah, we don't plug ourselves. So
On
hey,
a car like that, on a Trailblazer,
Yeah.
that $500 will probably get you. It probably is equivalent to you being a GM employee
Yeah.
at that point,
Yeah.
because you get supplier pricing, and then that $500 is the extra, couple percentage points, and yeah, you're with that $500 on a car like a Trailblazer or Encore.
Yeah.
You're at GM employee pricing.
See, if
Come on
Costco was smart,
Come
Come
on down.
on down.
We got every color
Yeah.
and trim.
Kevin, look into the camera and say it with conviction.
We got every color and trim. Come on down. Come see the Trailblazer and Encore GX.
At Applewood Chevrolet, the #1 volume GM dealer in Canada.
3000 Woodchester Drive, Mississauga,
There you
Ontario.
go.
if Costco was smart, they'd get golf carts with a bigger box on the back.
Do you think so?
Oh, they'd fill them.
Yeah.
They'd fill them for sure.
Yeah, it's
It'd be hazardous though.
Yeah.
It's already hazardous with shopping carts. You already get hit in the ankles.
my
That's
my
the-
my complaints about going into Costco, and I haven't gone in for a better part of a year now, long before COVID. The thing that bothers me is it's like a surprise every time people are going to Costco. So first of all, the parking lot. all of my patience is exhausted in the parking lot before I've even gotten out of the car. Okay, because everybody's left. You're signaling for a parking spot, and you're trailing somebody with a car. It's like, guys, like, just walk. You're gonna be walking probably like if you were to take your Fitbit, whatever step tracker you have, you're probably gonna be walking half a kilometer in Costco, right? I would think that's, if you're walking around Costco for 20 minutes, you're probably walking 500 meters to the back of the store. You slap the ground beef, and you come back out. You're basically 500 meters. Okay, so to walk.
It's funny how they put the food in the back.
Exactly, I know, and that's what I go for, the ground beef. I'm here for the ground beef and the Caesar salad. And that's why I don't go as well, because they increased the price on that. It's like $11 now. It used to be like $8.99. Man, I have a personal conflict with that. But anyways, like when you're going in and you push the shopping cart and you're like, okay, here's my card. People always, okay, you're fumbling through your wallet. It's like you've had 10 minutes to park. You've had 30 seconds to walk across the parking lot. Why do you not have your card in your hand? And then the first thing that people do once they're inside is they stop. Sorry, I had to stop myself from swearing there. They stop right in the middle of the entrance, and they put their card away. And then to the left is the TV that they know they're not going to buy, and to the right is always that friggin' heat dish, you know,
or vitamins.
and it's like they have to contemplate this every time, and or they'll open the little flyer, and then
That's, by the way, the flyer is Lee's flyer.
Yeah, that's Lee's. So yeah,
Lee Wittick's flyer.
That's Applewood's idea. Costco, our lawyers will be in touch. but yeah, it's like they, you know, and then it's almost like a comedy skit. They get the flyer out and they're like, oh shoot, I can't read this. Then they search for their reading glasses. So anyways, this is a long diatribe. I can't go to Costco anymore, but the Costco discount is pretty great. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Teo, tell us about this. So you guys think the subcompact cars, they have a place? They have a place yet in the market?
Oh, for sure. It's a commuter car. Right? You know, as you were talking about housing market, you know, and so many people are leaving. And this happened years ago with Barrie. You know, people leaving the metropolitan and going north.
Yeah.
And it's happening again. So it's a cycle that we're going through, and people are leaving the GTA and going outside. You know, 40 minutes away, an hour away.
Yeah.
So they need commuter cars. They're not going to be driving a V8.
Yeah, fuel efficient.
Or a big V6 to come into work. They're going to be driving that commuter car.
Yeah.
Which, you know, a lot of these cars, that's what they fit. And not only that, students going to school, they don't need anything bigger than that. That's all they need, right? And they're great for our weather. Mm-hmm. When I speak to the SUVs.
Yeah, the extra clearance to have for snow is...
Yeah.
And the fact you can get all-wheel drive.
Yeah, that's true. All-wheel drive is definitely super helpful. So, Teo, if you were to pick any car in the subcompact category,
what car would I pick?
Would it be?
Cruise.
Okay, Cruise no longer.
I know, I'm kidding you.
we don't talk about that relic.
It's true. I like the Kia Rio.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool car. It's not that expensive.
Yeah.
GM, we've got a Spark. I wish we had something just a little bit bigger, but the Spark is an excellent car.
Do you think they're ever going to make like an electric Spark?
We had one.
We
were the only electric Spark dealer.
Yeah,
Spark EV.
Tell me about that. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Like, when did we have an electric Spark?
What did
3 years ago?
What did it do? 90-kilometer range?
Yeah, something like that.
No, it was more than that. It was close to 200.
What?
Plug it there. Spark EV.
I think it was about 3 years ago.
Yeah,
4 years ago.
and then they converted for fleet only, but we were an official dealer. It was like we were the only dealer in the GTA. You see that?
Discontinued.
2011.
Yeah.
No, it was made past 2011.
Spark
Right, there you
EV. Is a Spark EV a good car? I love how the questions in Google are just so.
Car and driver, right there. Review. Spark EV up, right there.
Okay.
There it is. You didn't know we had that? We always had a couple in stock. But I unplugged in the plug
Actually,
station.
I
Yeah.
think this was a sleeper though.
Yeah. Put Spark EV range for a second, because I already forgot.
Spark EV range. Let's see.
82 miles. There you go.
119.
Yeah, and it was over 100, 120K on the charge.
Yeah.
It wasn't a hybrid; it was pure EV.
So we were the certified Spark EV dealer, and
Yeah,
and I guess people came flocking.
yeah.
Well, obviously, if you want an electric car and you want something that's good on gas and battery, I don't think there's anything.
I challenge you, Nick, to go in the shop after our podcast is done and ask them how many Sparks they see in for service.
What's the answer?
very little to any.
Is that because we sell very little, or there's very
No,
little problems?
They're selling a lot in the GTA. It's just there's no problems with
Was
it.
the number one selling small car in the U.S. In 2019.
Really?
Yeah.
Does very well and it's very reliable. Again, very little components. It's a pretty straightforward, simple car. It's got your
That's
backup
true.
camera and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a great car. It's got one of the fewest ROs per VIN.
That's pretty neat. So JD Power. This is carrying us. This is carrying us right to the top. Our Spark EV.
That's a perfect student car.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
city car. That's a perfect car.
My only complaints about it though would be probably if you're talking Spark EV, this is probably a car that you're only able to finance. Like you're not going to get a good lease payment. I guess you can get a good lease payment on a Spark right now.
There was. And you can actually, you know what, just plug it in there again. You can get one for $9,995 plus freight and taxes.
I want to show you something. We have a button right now that I push and it takes us right to applewoodauto.com.
Aren't you high tech?
Isn't that awesome? Wait, we don't have the Spark here, but
We do right there.
so hold on. So let's just search right now. New inventory, GM Chevrolet,
We have Sparks.
Spark.
There you go.
I think the offer, yeah, well, that's not bad at all. So we do have Chevrolet Sparks. For those who need a Chevrolet Spark, a vehicle that's
one
good on
LT.
gas.
That's a pretty loaded car. Alloy wheels, fog lights, Android Auto, all that stuff for $18,000. It's a sweet deal. And that's a brand new car.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And of course, you don't have to get them in
Comes in
red.
a bunch of cool. Well, it comes in a bunch of cool colors too. So
There's one outside, and it's a toasted marshmallow color. I really
Yeah.
like that.
yeah.
It's not gray. It's
And
not
there's salsa. There's all kinds. There's the lime.
pomegranate. Is that passion fruit?
Yeah.
Purple. They've disgraced us with these naming, these color profiles here.
There's the marshmallow.
Toasted marshmallow.
Yeah.
Looks delicious.
See that? Black roof, black mirrors, black grill.
Yeah, looks good.
19 grand.
Look at that. Black bow tie.
Black bow tie. That's sport edition.
If Batman drove a Spark, that'd be pretty close. That's pretty awesome.
It is.
So for those who need a Chevrolet Spark, a great vehicle, it's good on gas.
Those prices include
Good
all
on
the,
Applewood.
good on insurance too, from what I understand.
Really?
Yep.
those
See-
prices include all the fees.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a very transparent dealer. All the fees are already included. We like to make things simple for our clients.
That is a Trailblazer.
Yeah, good looking car.
Yeah.
It's funny though. I saw the. You don't realize the size differences when you're shopping online, and this is one plug I'd recommend for everybody. I know it's COVID time, and we obviously have to be very thoughtful about kind of the steps that we take and where we go and how we spend our time. But for those who are in the market for a car, the one thing I don't think you can ever skip is the opportunity to see the vehicle in person, because vehicles online and in photos, they're so different. Not so different, but just in terms of the way that they look, but the size of them. Like, it was funny, the XT4 and XT5, I saw yesterday there was a side-by-side. Two of them were in the lot. XT4 looks much smaller, but you get in, and there's still so much room. And it's so...
But it's significantly
so deceiving.
smaller.
The
but
frame
it's-
of it, but it feels big.
Yes, but the compartment is
Yeah.
not. And that's why I got to say, to get the feel, you got to get behind the wheel.
Into the camera, Kevin. Into the camera. That's the Applewood motto. Yeah, don't kid yourself. If you're shopping for a car online, take the opportunity, get it here, test drive. We're more than happy to do that. We sanitize all of our cars, and
We'll
take
get it nice and washed.
nice and washed. Payam always has a few chamois to make sure that we're at top quality, top condition here. But yeah, it's insane to know the size comparison. But yeah, good car. Last but not least, I wanted to pull this up.
That looks cool.
So
And I'm not, like, I'll probably, I don't want to say never, but because, there's no such thing as
That
never.
doesn't
But
look as
I
much
probably
like
will
an-
never own a minivan.
It
Yeah.
doesn't
Well,
look
that
as
looks
much
cool.
like a minivan anymore. It looks like actually a lot like
A stretch
so our-
crossover.
Our
a
mini.
Traverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little
But
bit bigger.
Do you guys think minivans are dead, or is there could be a
There's
renaissance?
still a market for it, for utility.
Yeah,
Nothing beats it. It just, they have the stigma.
I think the EV minivans though are going to be. I
Well,
think they
that's
can
a
make a big
different
comeback.
thing, yeah.
I think they can make a big comeback.
That's a good looking car.
It is.
It looks like a Sorrento front.
Do you like the
New
the
Sorrento.
new design of the logo?
It doesn't make a difference to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me
it
neither. But
They could have put a hamster on the front. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Kia's changed since they got the guy from BMW.
Yeah.
Scherer is his name.
The
His
designer.
designs have really made that product look a lot better.
This does not look like a minivan.
No.
If I was to Photoshop Mercedes right here, I think I could fool probably 7 out of 10 people, like without question. That's pretty slick looking.
How many
car.
lawyers would you fool?
Is this coming? Is this a prototype or is this coming?
This is coming. This is real. If it's not already out.
Yeah, it's listed at 36 grand or something.
to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. So that one there's 60.
The mottled aluminum. Yeah, good looking car. And Teo was showing us. Look at the seats. You got.
Yeah, that's nice.
Are you in a Rolls Royce
You
or
get
a
your nails
Kia?
done.
Yeah. That's true. You're at the spot.
Yeah,
man.
the spot.
The middle seats come out, which is different. That used
They
to be
don't
our
tuck away,
vans.
right?
Yeah, they come right out.
They don't tuck away though.
Yeah. No.
I
they come
think
right out.
minivans will have a big comeback, but it's just kind of interesting to see that
The back quarter panel there.
Yeah.
Does look like a Traverse too.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole design to me looks like a Traverse
Yeah.
Explorer.
Koreans are good at
Bigger.
They're the Korean brands are pretty good at that. They're good at copying.
Imitating. It's a sign of respect, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the minivan market is going to make a big comeback. Like, imagine one of these minivans decked out with just a sled of batteries below it. You know,
That looks decked out as
It-
it is.
it-
So you could live in that, so it'd be a cheap way to find a home. It'd be a
Yeah.
lot cheaper than buying a home.
I guess so.
House.
But it would be cool to know. Imagine all of a sudden, boom, 2024, the summer, and it's all of a sudden you see this GM advertisement, and it's the world's first minivan that's capable of going like 1,500 miles, just because it's got like, just a decked out bottom of batteries. Obviously, you'd probably sacrifice some Stone Go for those Dodge Caravan lovers, but that's
Stone Goes patented. You can't tuck. That's why I was asking if there was the seats because I know that technology's patented.
yeah. But that would be cool, if all of a sudden you had like these huge long range minivans. Those would be some pretty sweet road tripper cars. I think that'll be like the evolution, though.
Pacifica EV.
Pacifica EV looks good too. When you see that on the road, but yeah, fully spec, the Pacifica EV is like, what's the price tag?
That's
Like
what I'm saying. So the electric hybrid / hybrid is there already,
yeah.
and it's in production.
When you see one of these things on the road, and I don't know if we're gonna find a photo of it, but the black ones, I saw.
That silver one on the top. That's right. Yeah, that's got the gunmetal wheels and all that.
Yeah, it looks good on the road, and you pull up beside it, and you don't know it's a minivan. Like, they do such a good job of.
And the Caravan's gone now. They're all Pacificas now.
Why did they do that? They just weren't. Because
So-
Caravans were selling, were they not?
Yeah. So the Chrysler Town and Country
Yeah.
is always a big seller in the States versus the Grand Caravan. The Grand Caravan was a big seller up here.
Yeah.
It's no different if you go back. The Safari and the Astrovan were amazing sellers up here, but they weren't down there, and that's why they killed the product.
I
Right?
didn't know that.
Their market trumps everything. They have a huge market compared to ours. So, yeah, it's part of their rebranding, I guess. But there's an entry level Pacifica that's going to come. That's basically the replacement for the Caravan.
Yeah.
The Grand Caravan, and then there's the high end Pacifica. That's
It's
Town and Country.
Yeah, minivans, man, they're gonna make a comeback. Teo,
They're great driving vehicles. Just
When they're
This thing-
electric, they're going to drive like sports cars because it
You think
lowers
so?
the center of gravity.
do you think they're gonna have like an ignorant sport mode? Like, will you be able to?
Well,
do you think there's gonna
there'll
be, like,
those people who dream that
they
it's
have
going to
that
drive
in-
like
they
a
have that
sports
in
car.
SUV, so the ignorant mode.
I think there's a lot of that on the highway in Toronto.
Yeah, just instead of sport mode, just late for soccer mode. Click it. Engage. We're going.
And the first manufacturer that has that
Yeah.
starts with a B and ends with a W.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have any of those in the dealer group. But if you are looking for any other brand, Humberview Group has 28 locations. Kevin, Teo, and myself would be happy to help find you the car you want. Of course, we want you to shop for a GM vehicle, but we have a ton, all jokes aside, we do have a ton of cars, a ton of different brands. We can help you get any car you want. If you decided you did want a Pacifica, Kevin has so many connections that can make your head spin. He could probably get you a yellow one.
Yep.
And
Any color you want.
he's not even kidding.
No.
So anyways, yeah, folks.
But I'd rather you drive a Traverse or an Enclave, an Acadia. We'll leave the Pacifica as option D.
Option D, fair,
Yeah.
fair enough. Yeah, but listen, with the Costco program right now, there's a lot of reasons you could get into a great deal, like a Traverse 7-seater, for a pretty good price. With all the financing, leasing programs we have, GM has come out of the gate strong. And for those who who kind of are maybe follow the traditional buying cycle that we see in the industry, this year has been nothing like previous years because GM has come out so strong in January and so strong in February. If you were thinking, hey, I'm going to hold off, obviously there's no auto show this year, but
don't hold off.
Don't hold off. The programs are here. The product is here. Now is a very, very good time to buy a car. Normally people they wait for spring and kick off the dust.
Might not have much selection in the spring.
Yeah,
with what's going on.
Yeah, and if you need a truck, this is your stop.
Right here.
3000 Woodchester Drive.
We service
there's
all
no
of Ontario.
trucks out there, but we got them. We have the trucks.
Exactly. So for all Teo's clients, I know we're doing a lot of selling for Teo here.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. Hit them up. This is a very, very good time to buy a vehicle if you've been on the fence thinking about it. Trade-ins are also doing fantastically well with the difference of the dollar right now.
I've never, this is not, not trying to plug the customers here. We have never had such high trade-in values. My 22 years in the business. The trade-in values are through the roof right now because there is a shortage of cars. It's legitimate. There's a legitimate shortage of cars, and we need them. We have buyers for them. There's all kinds of different tools that we have to move those cars. So the trade-in values have never been as strong. If you were thinking, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, and to come see Teo, don't wait. Come now while there is still product and while the programs are still strong.
Exactly. Yeah, well said. Teo, we've done all the work for you here, man. We invited you on. And
Well, I appreciate it. You're very nice.
we're doing all the legwork, man.
Well, I'm a rookie at this podcast.
You know what? It's funny. It's pretty fun, and Kevin and I are still learning as we go here. But I think it's probably safe to say we're getting a lot better. It's just fun. And for those, of course, your customers are going to see. It's a great way for you to just.
It's informative. It's informative for the customer on technology, on just our topic. It's informative for us. Like you pulled up stuff today I didn't know about.
Yeah.
It's great, right? It's
Yeah. So, anyways, for Teo's customers, listen, come on in. All of our clients as well. Good time.
Give them a call, make an appointment. Rest assured, you'll be safe here at Applewood. Everything is sanitized. We have great crowd control. Everywhere you touch is sanitized. Every vehicle is sanitized. So we are proud of that. So don't be scared. I get that there's pandemic, but we got this process down pat.
Hey, but you do need to make an appointment.
Need to make an appointment.
Yes.
Yeah, and kind of last plug here, I'm very proud to say too, of course, Applewood, with everything going on this year, we've been able to make sure that our whole dealership, not one employee. How many employees do we have?
152?
120 with Applewood.
So, yeah, we've been COVID free. So all of our employees, we've taken extremely good precautions. We're taking it seriously. And it's not necessarily showing off, but yeah, we value our team members' safety as much as our clients. But anyways, this has been a very good episode number 5. Taylor, we're going to be sending this out to number six. We're going to be sending out to a few. I can't count. That's why I don't sell cars.
I thought Frank's was number 6. But I'm
but we may rub that off the map. We're still deciding.
Frank is number 5.
But this is still a good place to come because you're treated with respect.
Yeah.
We all have integrity here, so everything is straightforward.
Yeah.
It's a very comfortable place to do business, and our service department is one of the best in Canada.
That's true too.
What kind of a place is it to work?
It's a nice place to work. We are a good family.
It's a nice place.
This is part of my family. I mean, I could have retired. I don't want to retire. I still like doing this.
No, we don't want you to retire.
Yeah, and I like working with most of you guys, right?
Most.
Yeah. The key word there was most.
Enough.
That'll be podcast number 7.
Awesome. Well, guys, thanks so much for listening. For those who've made it through the whole half hour, however long this was, we appreciate it very much. Of course, we're growing the format every week, getting new people on, different perspectives, and we cannot wait when the post-COVID world finally starts unveiling itself to get some really cool guests on. Like, we want to get on the EV, the programmers, the engineers, the people making the infotainment, the autonomous driving. Like, we genuinely want to keep educating ourselves and our clients and providing content. So again, thank you guys so much for listening. You guys have any final thoughts here?
No, and you know what? Keep in mind, weather's getting better. Spring market is here.
Yes.
Inventory is here. Don't get down on yourself. We're getting through this. Surely.
The tight light is at the end of the tunnel.
It is.
We're getting towards the
We
end.
got better weather. Everybody stay positive, stay safe, and don't hesitate to call or make an appointment or just come see us.
And thank you very much for your time for listening.
Yeah, thanks so much, Teo. Well, guys,
Thank you.
see you later. Have a great
I
day.
hope you'll invite me back. Thank you.
Yeah.